conference room, Maggie online, Carol online, Jennifer Ryan, Steve Powers is with us. Welcome, Steve. Been looking forward to having you join us here. So I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order of the Waynesboro Advocacy Committee for April. And hopefully those online are seeing the agenda from Jennifer. We're gonna follow along on the agenda. Welcome, Greg. Morning. So our first agenda item is the approval of minutes from our March meeting. Are there any corrections to those minutes?
I move the minutes be accepted.
All right, Carol has moved that we accept the minutes. I'll second. Lynn has seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Yeah, the minutes have passed. Yeah, so first of all, welcome to Dr. Stephen Powers, who is a representative from the UMNH Foundation to this committee, and glad to have you aboard. I don't know if you have any opening remarks, but I know that we share an interest in fisheries, and you seem to be most interested in lots of different native fishes. I'm mostly interested in fish on the end of my line. But, yeah, anything but otherwise. So welcome, Stephen. We always appreciate the foundation because that's a vehicle through which we can process grants and we can manage monies outside of the museum budget and support initiatives like this one to promote the campus being built here in Waynesboro. So I hope that you'll carry the words from this committee back to the foundation, and you'll feel free to share anything from the foundation that seems relevant to us. And I guess we lost him. Okay, he's losing his audio.
Yeah, remember, was also a member.
Oh, yes, right.
Yeah. Gonna restart and rejoin.
Okay. Rick isn't here today. I guess I should have confirmed that we do have a forum. We had some. We heard about otherwise. So I think we're down to community connections. Joe, I don't know if you want to take it over.
Sure. I was going to ask Jonathan to kind of give an overview of what we know about the state budget, which unfortunately I don't think is too much more than we know last meeting. But Jonathan,
so it's still a lot of discussion over the server building, and taxes, tax rates. They're going to pull everybody back together April 23rd to start the discussion back up. So, they closed session without having to resolve the budget issues. So nothing's proved yet. That goes for our museum budget as well. So eagerly awaiting an announcement of something official. So we can start planning for the next fiscal year.
When you say museum budget, you're talking about your operating.
Yeah.
yeah. So when we heard nothing, and they've given no hint that there's anything different in terms of budget priorities as far as capital projects go. So nothing that we can necessarily get excited about, or kind of cross your fingers and hope for the best. So
the amendments that our legislators did get out of committee were not for capital budgets; they were operating. Their operating budget. Well, they were general fund.
We had general operating fund. We had the capital fund.
None of those got out.
So nothing's official. So we do have, I know I'm jumping over here, but we do have, working with Greg and his team, we do have a press release that's ready, which is something we talked about last time, to make sure that we proactively get a positive and proper message out to the community. But we still think it's appropriate to release before, send that out before the governor makes any kind of announcement about that. That's kind of jumping to that.
In theory, which is way far out there in theory, I mean, the governor, very long shot,
But
theoretically,
say.
Is it too late to contact legislators like by myself? Which I did. I contacted Deeds, I contacted McLaughlin, I contacted.
And what was the response from Deeds?
Deeds, staff said, we will fly this for him at the meeting someplace. And I had asked him a letter that maybe he would talk to the people in our area and pointed out that he used to represent the western part of the state. And it will benefit all those people and it will benefit the people in this area here. So I was real happy with that response. McLaughlin wrote back and his staff did and said, or she did maybe, and said, I've really been championing this and I never heard from the other guy. I tried to send an email to the new Secretary of Education and couldn't find anywhere on the website where I could go directly to talk to him. I had to go through the governor's office. So I found the old mailing address and I sent a letter by snail mail. But just asking them to consider moving this on.
I think, you know, continued communication at a minimum keeps the project elevated and doesn't become stale or something forgot about. So, certainly, I think there's value in it. How much value at this juncture? I just don't have.
I mean, going.
Yeah.
When I had a list of people on the other side of the mountain in Harrisonburg, and you know, I think I'm gonna write to them and say, this is where I live, this is how this is gonna affect you as an educator, I see the benefits, and it's not coming from you guys, it's coming from me.
Yeah.
And so that if it does come up, they will know how important it is to their constituents.
Let me get back to the office also. I don't have direct contact information for the new secretary, we do for, his deputy secretary. So I can give that to you. So you have
Okay, that'd be great, because I said at the end of the letter how important it was, how I didn't know where it was in the process, but I also said if he needed more information to contact me, I'd make sure he got it. And I was gonna call you guys and say, send it home. But he should have it.
And I gotta believe, or really, my gut feeling here is we need to build momentum outside of our own groups. Like the Rockland, who's all in it, totally committed. But we need to give her some support and some ammunition. And if we can get people like Dees and Loeffler, you know, the surrounding community to embrace this thing as a regional project. And the time to do that is now. We need to start building that support now. Now, they're gonna come back in April, I get that, but we should be thinking about a June, July, August type of event. And we invite those people to that. We do it in their home territory and we have it specific, make it interesting like the chocolate thing, and have it in their spot and invite them personally to come to the event, enjoy the night, meet your constituents, and learn about this project. And we start doing it now before August, September, and October, when we start ramping up for all that. If we can get these guys committed to this before they go into session, we've got a little bit of a chance than this thing coming out and, you know, we gotta get support, and especially with Democrats running the legislature right now, and more Democratic support's coming up.
Well, I mean, I keep saying you might want to talk to McLaughlin about this because of the effect on your constituents. You keep telling me people who come to the museum trailer are largely from Jose and across the mountain. But yet we have to get their legislators to buy into this to support their education.
is there a list of, the key administrative and legislative people that we should be contacting? I mean, not that it would do any good, but I'd be happy to write more letters.
I did a list of all the local legislators of our surrounding regions. So it's Nelson County, Albemarle, Rockingham, Rockbridge, Augusta. And I can send it to you. I don't have it.
This is your list. And I went in and hand wrote the email addresses for everybody instead of having to. But if you send that out again,
Yeah.
or do you want to make a copy of this before we leave?
Well, the administrative ones have changed. Yeah, Secretary for Education is different. The Deputy Secretary of Education will be, may be as valuable to contact us. Usually the agencies get assigned to a deputy. We're under one deputy that's different from maybe some of the other institutions of higher education. If I can get that deputy, yeah.
Deputy, are you?
And then we we have any kind of a general, email address or address for the governor?
You can find it online.
Yeah.
You just go to the governor's state of Virginia and it pops up. Then they ask you a lot of questions about who you are before they'll let you send a message. And that's where I saw it.
Are you a MAGA? So I think we need to approach this on two parallel paths. You got the official path, which you guys as official board members and city representatives in partnership with Prentice can push Preston rather, push that official channel through, the the governors and, the county office people, all that stuff. And then we, the community, need to be loudmouth community members appealing to these legislators and say, look, we don't know about the budget stuff. We don't care about your bullshit and we want to see this happen because it's important and it makes a difference. And that's what we got to say and get passionate about it and just do that now and repeat it so that when it comes to legislation time, it's not a big surprise to them.
So it's okay for me to call friends in their district and say, would you send this letter? Right, because I was thinking about that.
Or we can put together an outline when I want your eyes on it. We have to talk about what kind of event, is going to be attractive, right? When we do something like the Natural History Chocolate or something else. And we can target the summer time frame. So, is anyone traveling this summer? I'm gone half of July.
Early June for me, but then, yeah. But something like a political start. We know that there's a right opportunity out there because we've already done some periphery contacts. We just leverage those preliminary connections that we've already done. And then Charlottesville and then Harrisonburg.
But do something here because my friends that I've been talking to about this are going, oh, I'd go to something like that. And some of them do have.
And Irby, I don't know if Jack Wilcox's ready to do something like that. That would be a great way to get things out there.
Yeah, that would be a nice.
And he'd probably like it too.
Come up with the date.
Hard time hearing clearly.
So we'll work on some dates, Joe, and that'll be one great event. If we can get a chef up there and wine, visit or whatever, that would be a ridiculous thing.
We see your messages about volume here in the room, and so we're trying to work on that. And I guess I'll just encourage everybody to speak up as best they can. And we do have a microphone hanging over our heads, but maybe it's not picking up quite as well.
So on that, I know. Last one, Peter, want to make a conversation with Connor, who's one of the deputies.
Yeah, that's who we're on.
Okay. So he is, and we can email back and forth, but he's fully aware and on to us. So I think that would be great as an educator to connect those dots.
So that's an action item for Joe, is to send out that contact information. And then an action item for us from Len is really just to reach out. Can you be the voice for the community? Contingent, regardless of whether or not they're specifically in Waynesboro, but really. And beyond that, I would argue, wouldn't hurt to have
We go back to Northern
the family come, and represent the museum and say we want.
A few of us can go up to the winter green. Something. And so we got a familiarization course, because curators want to do stuff there, and they're excited to have us there. But I actually dropped the idea of doing that with your chocolate. up there, and, no pun intended. So they said that they have the facilities, they know they have the audience and everything like that, but I could work with Elizabeth there to make sure that we have something set aside for those we specifically want to invite. So for instance, we want to invite the governor to come, or we want to invite our delegates, to show up to this. And part of the deal is that, we're not, they're going to pay for it, and they're going to sell the tickets, but we are going to provide support, logistical help, and in return, we have one for whoever attends, we'll make a contact company, and then number two, I'll have 5 minutes to do a little pitch on Waynesboro. And handout, and we'll have the placards up with the building. Bring everyone up to speed on. So that one is no problem. Irby Delwood with Len, they kind of want sort of like an outline, so we can tell them exactly what we're looking for and see if this is something we can do. And I think we also need to be clear. We're not really, I mean, this is really up to the board, but we're really not in a fundraising mode just yet, right? Because we want to wait until we move to that construction pool before we do anything like that. But we just need to make it clear that what we want is to be informational, and we want to give people actionable steps. So they can to support the project, not with their wallet quite yet, but with what? Oh yeah, motion, but I mean, some letters and phone calls to influential people is going to do what we were talking about the last meeting. So I'll start it off tomorrow by putting together kind of a brief outline, and then I'll share it with you, and we'll see if we can't get the next plan. Okay, cool.
I'm just, I'm usually distracted by a lot of those that shine out there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm with you.
So the press release will go out after the budget gets finalized.
Yep.
Now, we were preempted a little bit because I did see an article come out about us not getting funded.
That's the free press.
We got
it. We always get, in their minds, our funding always gets cut.
Right.
And we gotta fix that.
Who is she talking to? Where is she getting?
Okay, it actually goes back, I think, that they're using old information from like COVID. When they interviewed Joe, and Joe basically said, with COVID, everything kind of went away. And ergo, we had a budget and they pulled it. That's how she's interpreted.
But that's, of course, not true, because we had a budget, we spent it on pre-planning, and we got a new budget, and then, so black and white legislation said we had $1 million+ that was simply slowed down.
Yeah.
Right, and then now we're just.
Like it's going to silence.
Yeah, I don't know.
I tried to call them at the last meeting, it was chaos.
Yeah. We used to have a speaker phone in the middle of the table here, and I know it hasn't. Yeah, that one I think did a little better than this one.
I mean, judging by that, you're getting good.
Well, the red is not good.
No, but that's when you're down low. But if I'm talking, I'm getting green. Yeah.
Anyway.
But that's picking up on the computer, not necessarily.
Oh, so apologies to those of you that are online, but we're going to share some chocolate, and I'll let Ann talk a little bit about the chocolate that she's been researching. It's just horrible.
So somebody commented that they wanted to get somebody local for chocolate stuff. My daughter and I went chocolatiering one weekend, and then I've done more since. So this box is from Cocoa Mills in Lexington. This is from John Carl's European pastry in Stanton. This is from Lori's Chocolate. She's in Stanton too. And that box is locally from Country Confections, which is just down the road here. This was the most reasonably priced, they were all the same. So I've been having fun doing it. And there's another one, Santiago's chocolates, who are very colorful. And I started with one Mary and Ray, ate the last of them.
Yeah.
When I saw them there, and my daughter. So you are welcome to taste and see what you think. They're all very different. This girl cooks out of the kitchen and sells at, Feed to Tail Restaurant, which is near Cherry Park Shopping Center in Stanton. She sometimes works with them on desserts for their special.
That's about the buses.
These probably don't have enough. I don't like these. You take one, kind of small. Okay, because I really don't know what they are. That one has the truffles in it, that he said are more like truffles. Like real truffles, because some truffles are real. The premium, some of these have to be hard. So I tried to get those.
The mystery chocolate.
Yeah, he has worked in a shop in Stanton, Fisherville, and he has. That's terrible.
Thank you.
So I remember we had this event in Martin. They were kind of single source chocolates that we have to try from different countries. Right, and it was just pure chocolate, and we learned how to taste it, almost like we taste wine. You know, there was a way to taste it properly.
You have to hold your nose and snort.
Yeah, yeah, there were.
Yeah.
Well, these are all in the now.
Yeah.
There's one at Dayton Farmers Market I didn't get there. And Charlottesville has Earhart's and Copeland Spice, and I didn't get to visit those yet.
There's a distinct difference between that bar, the chocolate itself, and whatever chocolate is in that one.
Right, this is these people are from the box, is Lexington, and they do a lot of mail order and stuff. They had to do a lot of downtown, because they had some of the trucks coming in and out, so it's on Route 11 all the time.
I'd say the quality of chocolate is probably better than
This
This one?
that.
Yeah, my taste is, I don't love it.
The white box is.
Right, well, she makes a lot of other kinds too.
I had these, I didn't tell the difference. Yeah.
This is the local guy. But now it's great.
Well, that's what Stephen built, that's what combination.
Yeah.
I like-
Stephen
I'm okay
Taylor
with
is the one in
That makes
there.
sense.
Yeah, and his are fresh, just made. Some of these I picked up early, but this one.
All right, so what I'm hearing here, since we are now armed with new knowledge and resources, we should have the opportunity to do a natural history of chocolate themed event. If we do it all out now, I will just say, here's the challenge. And I'm open to solutions. So in Martinsville, we never did anything like this before. First time try, so we kept the price as low as we could. It was still $100 per person. So it wasn't killer for our market. It's about as high as we're gonna go. The only reason we're able to keep it at $100 is because we are in good with a chef who's a member of the museum, and she purchased all the food. We paid for all the food. But she did all of the labor free of charge. She even loaned us people to help serve and everything, and even loaned us dishware that we were lacking. So
Did she provide the food? I mean, have she paid for the raw material food that she put?
so we paid for everything. We recouped those costs with the ticket, right? With the ticket cost and everything. So we don't have to do all of that, right? We can do something. We can do a wine and chocolate pairing type event if we want. I'm not making suggestions. I'm saying there are options. So that's one thing we're going to have to do and decide on as a group. We want to go on.
Tested, so just mute it
Dinner,
and let
right?
people know
That's
they can
going
message
to cost.
when we
We've got,
respond.
like,
Just to help with like that.
that probably is that's a problem. The way most of them involved is Jackson, right? So he's I think it's the 22nd. Does that sound right, Jonathan? Sorry.
Yeah, 22nd of, coming up.
You're bringing up new stuff to the library.
We're planning, well, yes, and the primary job is gonna be to repopulate the trailer. Right, but, I mean, we're assuming everything's gonna be on time, right?
Yeah.
April 26th?
Yes,
So we expect to travel for
the 17th,
17th.
yeah,
Okay.
and they know,
All right.
right, and so, they know it's not just an arbitrary date.
Yeah.
We intend to use it the same. So we're assuming everything's gonna be around time, we're gonna come up on the 22nd, gonna repopulate the trailer, you can get your PowerPoint ready if you want. Jonathan. And we're gonna bring a couple more things for, the library to augment, the displays, because are they having a dinosaur summer reading program or something like that?
There's something, someone's doing something dinosaur related.
Yeah, and so, so the director there, you know, she said, she agreed that we could put some other items up there to augment what we already have because it would be in support of that program. So, related, Jonathan's got a couple of slides, about the progress on the trailer.
Yeah, so just a quick show and tell, kind of fun. Had some images come in. This is the as it started kind of pulling the original wrap off that we had done on site here. You can just see the damage and rust and everything.
Is that rusting under the wrap?
Yeah, so well, it's probably rusted before.
It was new chrome since it was wrapped?
No, it was all wrapped on.
I've seen it before.
We wrapped it over.
Yeah.
Oh.
They pulled two wraps off when they unwrapped
Well,
them.
that explains why they said you shouldn't be pulling it around over there.
Yeah.
It's only been holding it together. Right?
Thank God there was a wrap.
It's structural support wrap.
So we got there's a lot of work to it, right? So you see all the paint here is rust repair, the gray, light gray area on the door, and then down below here. So all of this, it's a pretty extensive work. Matthew, why it was so expensive to wrap it with these guys. And then this is how it looks now. Bring a wrap on there. Oh, it's moving pretty quick. So yeah, similar before, but we do have some action shots here of a bird taking care of some trout.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's a better looking wrap. And honestly, the last time I asked an employee to make sure to measure it before instead of just going with the diagrams. It was a hard lesson learned because diagrams have different dimensions.
Well, I think they ended up with like the black all the way down here.
Right.
The
Yeah.
wheel yeah.
It's going to cost all the fish, you know. So, anyway, they gotta watch them.
Yeah. Then so it's back at the shop now, and they're working on the paint primer as far as the insides go. Just kind of giving us something to start with, and then kind of the more exciting part. Lila on staff now. She's in kind of a 3D kind of map of where things are going to be.
So it's going to be almost all, if not all, new material and new information. So we'll get new experience. We're going to have a giant beaver and Ice Age wolf representing some of the past fauna of Virginia. Believe it or not, near the tail end of the wolf, that's supposed to represent a chunk of stromatolite. You know, so this is one of these colonial algal masses from hundreds of millions of years ago, which, believe it or not, actually have a connection to understanding how people get sick with certain kinds of infections, right? So there's a whole story that we're going to tell, starting with the stromatolite, going to modern treatment of certain kinds of bacterial infections and so forth. We'll have our dinosaur stuff back. That will be the one part that's not new at the top there. That's a mineral case. We've already had it on display, but it's been up at the museum for 15 years. So we disassembled it, redoing it, and bringing it back. We're going to have another bug case. Forget what it is. The ants are going away. The ants are going away. These are good. They put together some eye candy. Yeah, they put in some eye candy and whatnot. So I don't remember what the white square and the other geological specimen on the upper right is.
Yeah, I think it's a rough draft here. So.
Are there any visual screens still? Will there be, like we've had?
It was on there. I'm assuming it's coming back. So we'll have that, and, where, we're over on the left at the top in particular, where you see, we're gonna continue to have images of the building. And, I guess we'll put, CCR's, Jefferson word on it.
Yeah, absolutely. What about electric on the inside? Is it now like, we're not running extension cords and power?
Well, okay, so for River Pass, we're gonna have a generator. We have been working with the city, and Jonathan, you got it.
Two-phase versus three-phase?
Yeah, so, we're in with Dwayne and the city to try to get power to the vehicle. Our understanding, so the snow plow took out our power space out near the, yeah, so, details to come on
So
getting
right
power
now,
to
we
the.
can't run an extension cord.
So the outlets that were attached to the pavilion are dead. I've got something to report on that, because I got this problem for Riverfest. And I spent all morning trying to find portable generators, and I called Dwayne Jones, and the parts will be here Friday to replace the transformer, or Monday, and the electricians are gonna work on it that week, he hopes, and so by Riverfest, we'll have the 200 amp service back up in operation, and we won't need generators for our food vendors and other activities. And I don't know whether this will affect what we're trying to do.
So it complicates us a little bit more, or three-phase, not a three-phase.
Permanent electric that you're gonna connect to the internal electric is supposed to go to the power plant. You're gonna do a direct connect into the utility.
That's what we're inquiring. I'm not an electrician.
We don't have a firm living on that.
No, I think Dwayne's pretty busy trying to get everything set for trying to fix what's broken first, and then what we're gonna. I've poked him a couple times.
So the immediate plan is no different from last year. We're gonna run an extension cord.
No, we're gonna have generator. We're gonna have a generator at Riverfest.
At Riverfest.
And then
I'm
for the
thinking about that.
next one, we have options, but it's not gonna be him next year. Just depends on what's available.
Do we have a farmer's market this year? We do. Because Project Grow's dropped it, right? No? Okay. I had heard, that would be like super news to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So Autumn isn't with them anymore, right?
So she moved. Yeah. But there's a new market.
There's a new market manager.
They announced two employees today.
Okay.
So I just gotta get my head wrapped around this. So I'm thinking post Riverfest. Trailer's gonna be on the backside of the parking lot. We don't know about connecting the hard wiring to the front. That's to be determined.
Yeah, with the cost and.
Literally, that could be months and months away. So the fallback then is to run the extension cord from that trailer out to the pavilion across the parking lot, so we're that much further out.
No, instead of, if this is the parking lot, this paper represents the parking lot, and the trailer was here in the weapons swale, right? It's gonna be here.
It's gonna be right there. Okay, so it's not gonna be a big difference. Now, the other thing was, we were bringing the extension cord, and then there was a power strip hanging off the wall that was connected back to the, when we weren't connected to the panel.
No.
We had an extension cord. And that's still gonna be the.
Yeah, the only way to run the panel is to have it connect to the generator or to hardwire it to permanent electric source.
That's what I mean. So that's why Mary was so skeptical.
Mhm.
As they say in the home country, so are we.
We can feel it.
It didn't hurt as much.
Well, the other thing too, of course, there's an HVAC unit that we're not going to use, even if it's plugged into the farmer farm. Right? So during the summer, you can't run air conditioning unless you have the generator or a hardwired power source. Yeah. So that's really the sticking point. We can light it up, you know, but with the generator or the hardwired power source, we can control temperature, and we can also run, say, monitors.
But really, other than a few weeks in the middle of summer, when it got really hot, it wasn't that bad. We had the two doors open with freezing. And then she was shut it down a little earlier, when the temperature hits, so.
When you have the doors open, you're inviting people, and the doors are closed down.
Right, exactly.
And we have an open flag.
That doesn't work so much. Well, it does. People notice it. You know, we're out there hot. Hey, come on to the museum, and it works. The kids see the door open, they're like, we're in. But, Mary calls them in, and catches them in the parking lot from the stoop.
Anything else, Jonathan?
No, I mean, just excited that, it's getting close. It's getting close.
Yeah, that's exciting. Walking our time here, we have a couple of events on our list. I know the lecture series is wrapping up. Our last one is next week. Forest forensics, Principal John is coming to talk. Yeah, and then we're going to be looking at September. And I don't know if we have anybody lined up for September yet.
I've been working with,
John?
John. Yeah.
Okay,
So, I think we have almost all the slots filled.
great. That's very good.
Or at least we have at least as many people who want to get lectures, we have open. I don't know the schedule. That's pretty close.
Yeah, that's Riverfest. He's keeping it, and someone else will be there.
You're in the book shop, right?
You're in the book shop.
So I gotta say, yesterday, just a quick aside, yesterday I was walking the Greenway with a mother and two sons, one's like 8 and 10. And we came down, and one of there was a fly fisherman out there, saw us coming, he had a rainbow on the end of the line, waited till we got there, came to the shore and says, hey, you want to reel it in? So he let both kids, it was great. And it was awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. Nice, good one.
Yeah. I don't know if you have anything, Irby, to share. We'll be there with the table.
We'll have a team there, and I'll be there at least part of the time, not the whole time.
Well, I think it's gonna be much like usual. I know real major change. Looks like the camp is, most of the slots are taken. We've got a meeting, tomorrow night, and I'll have an update. So same place, same layout, and just hope for the weather.
I guarantee you, there will be at least one museum worker here who will not bring a jacket.
Always.
Tell them all. Always like, make sure you bring something warm, leave it in your car. When I find it over here by the trail. Maybe be very surprising.
Now, you don't locate the trailer where it was previously, or you can.
Up on the asphalt,
Okay,
right
yeah.
next to where it was.
Okay.
That was just some faulty advice from the operator who delivered it. That's not where I wanted to put it, and at the last second, he convinced me that for some reason, I don't remember what he said. It had something to do about backing it in or something. I mean, it just making sense.
That was easier than doing it up on the.
I don't know what to say. I mean, the guy had a singular personality. For sure. He's a nice guy, right? And he was always available for a phone call if I had questions about it. So I really do appreciate that. Yeah, that's probably not the best idea. Yeah.
And the museum rodeo is also coming up.
That's tied in with it's
Streets are.
Street Arts Festival. Yes.
Three meals you guys do?
What's that?
3 meals? Is it 3 or?
3
Murals.
Seven murals.
Seven. Fantastic.
And the Virginia 250 Trail will be here. The Museum of Fine Arts Trail will be there.
The 250 trail, that's. What's your advertising thing for that? You guys can promote it for
Super good.
like regionally?
Yeah.
You're sounding like somebody we think of. Oh, it's the best, right?
The best one.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about what it is. But
So, Virginia 250, we advertise in the Museum of Fine Arts, and we advertise Village, we advertise in.
I'm just thinking, I can see people driving 40, 50 miles away. So.
Oh, anyway, the Virginia Street Arts Festival last year was our highest concentration of people in downtown at one time for the whole year.
Despite more than half of it.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So it'll be anywhere between twice as many murals.
Yours are great. It's amazing.
We're using the T-Mobile hometown grant to pay for it. So our budget is 3 times what it was before.
Twice the art, 3 times the artist. You only have about 2.
It was 3.
3 last times.
Wow, that's huge. Maybe we'll get the AP to cover like we covered Michael Phil's. Whatever. He was in the Boston Globe.
Okay.
You know, that's impressive.
Any other events we need to bring up here?
I can bring it up now, we're on discussion, but, Tracy Straight, executive director of the Wayne Theater, reached out to me. And, short email, she said, we'd like to bring this show, it's called Dinosaur Dimensions, and we have a YouTube video I'll show you real quick. The Wayne Theater, March 2007, would VMA be willing to sponsor, we're seeking 8,000, but 5,000 will allow the booking to happen, let me know. Now, I will tell you that I looked at it and it is something that I'm personally so unfamiliar with that I don't know that I'm the one who should be making decisions.
How much did she ask me?
$5,000 to $8,000
From the museum.
from the museum. So before he hits play, it would be March 2027. We would also, if we did this, we would set up a temporary dinosaur exhibit in the exhibit gallery on the second floor. Now also keep in mind that $5,000 or $8,000 gets you 2 school shows at 9:30 and noon and a public performance in the evening, right? I don't understand. Or else is gone, but you could also do 2 shows on a Saturday.
This might connect. So several months ago, we talked about getting an anonymous donor, like a anonymous staff thing that we're going to do like a.
Yeah.
Is that in the works?
Well, we have the app.
Yeah.
So what I've been dragging my feet on is we have a whole list of creatures. We're going to do a creature capture. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So the creature capture.
Well, it was what you guys came up with for this donation, essentially.
Yeah,
The people that move around the community.
right. So it's like a modified Pokemon.
Yeah,
Right,
right,
you can collect these
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Instead of getting these fictional characters, you're going around and catching different animals that you can find in the Shenandoah Valley and everything. We have a whole list, and every one has information. So if you go and you capture a river otter, then you get some information on the river otter. It's natural history. So what we need to do is we need to get up here and pick the actual GPS location. Right, so that's the last step we need to do.
So I'm wondering if maybe you can connect it to this time.
Well,
Let's see what
why don't we put this in?
Yeah.
Right, so this is something that I would prefer not to be making this. Well, so that's what I'm looking at. You know, one, I think it would be good for that community or even Martinsville to have something like that for the kids. As she says that they do 2 shows for the schools. And but so I can see a lot of the positives and so forth. Is that something that we as an organization want to get involved in? And I don't know the answer to that question. Right? So,
We're having a film prior to Riverfest this year in Montana, and we were able to get a $5,000 grant in order to show the movie Hidden Rivers, which we've shown them.
Yes.
And the reason I could get the grant, and one of the stipulations of the grant was you had to have a 2-day event. having the movie on Friday night and River on Saturday night, turned out then, the two-day event, and that was eligible for this $5,000 grant. And the object, the money had to be spent on promoting the event, bringing tourism to the city, and the tourism-based grant from the state. Thank you.
BTC grant.
BCC grant. So, very generous grant, and that could help go a long way to promote this thing. And we could do it in conjunction with River Fest again, because I'd like to see this. I want to see, I don't know how it's going to go, how much what our attendance would be like, but I would like to have something like this the Friday night before River Fest going forward.
You're talking about that.
Well, this could be next year, Friday night
Event.
for River Fest.
When is Tracy? She's saying March.
But I have no idea if that's because of her schedule, because she's looking to fill a hole,
Or it's their schedule.
Right, they're in town or they're in the area. So, but this is something to throw into the mix.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at another movie.
It would be an amazing, I mean, it would definitely be popular, make the whole weekend a big deal. And you could do it the year of the,
Right.
you could call it the year of the museum of Advocacy.
Year of the dinosaur. We know about the content and the true quality of, what would be presented.
That's a good question. I think I kind of took a step back. So, and the website's a little scanty. So, but we could try to find out more information, because it does look like you saw that one thing where he's holding, I forget what the guy's holding, but I bet you it does have some actual information, biological or geological, whatever information that you're getting out of it. So it's edutainment. But as far as the quality of the information, I guess that'd be worth finding out.
That would be my only, caveat on doing something like this is that, does it in fact live up to the quality that the museum wants to support?
Well, it isn't providing actual factual information.
Yeah, exactly. Or does it support the humans and dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Well, they did, didn't they?
Well, it might be put on by the lizard people, Shasta in California.
Who knows?
But I agree. We need more background about what does the program promote, like educational about dinosaurs? Is it consistent with the science?
You know, out of respect for Tracy's degree educator, and that's her background. This grade school education, and she's got a master's in it, I believe. So, and I had enough faith in Tracy to think that she would, I would suspect, had probably, asked those same questions, or at least is comfortable with them.
Sure.
Definitely ask for them.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what gets people's children.
Maybe if it is something that at least doesn't conflict with the science, we could follow it up with some more scientific lecture, so we kind of engage families and kids, and then we have a more scientific lecture about what are dinosaurs like here.
My only thought from the museum standpoint is that if we decide to do this and dedicate that kind of money to it, we had better well have our name and our project front and center.
Oh, yeah.
And totally, and this is a vehicle for us. There's a vehicle for them too, but mostly what happens at the Wayne Theater is what you're doing is to benefit them.
Yeah.
And we're already second building the third, redheaded stepchild. We need to be front and center.
I agree with that. We're pumping money in. We make sure that, there's, in fact, we would probably sign an MOU with the Wayne Theater for this project specifically, to ensure that there are certain agreements ahead of time and whatnot. So, I find it a lot more palatable if we go the route of going for a BTC grant. I love that it being tied in with Riverfest, so if May can work for them and the Wayne Theater, that would be something else that would make it more attractive to me operationally, and I really do want to help the Wayne Theater, but there's a lot we could do in the community for $5,000 to $8,000. Yeah. Right. You know, that they're in kind of vice versa rub of the grant certainly, especially since it wouldn't be competing for any of our other efforts.
The more we can get people excited about the project and familiar with it, and this is interesting, I met a young woman a couple of weeks ago who said, we were just chatting, and she said, you know, I hear about this museum that's happening downtown. Do you hear about that? And I'm like, well, yeah, I kind of know something about it. But she was at the River City Burger Bar, met some guy who had photographs of the design. Was that any of you? So somebody, I mean, she was all excited about it. I kind of filled in some blanks for it, but I thought that was pretty cool. So somebody in town, it's outside of the core group now, you know, our work is being affected. People, and whoever this was actually had, you know, the drawings. I mean, no, okay. It wasn't asked if there's a Tom.
It wasn't me.
Was it her?
But I think that I mean,
Was it Crystal Green?
Well, there's so many people who are big fans of the project for sure. We've got a lot of support now, so I'm surprised.
that's why it's time to really start pushing out.
Well, I want to respect our time here. We're kind of past the hour, and is there anything else for open discussion? I guess we're no longer streaming now because we didn't have just now video or
No,
audio.
no audio, so I could,
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about what I have to say. And Greg, you may have more information on this than I can. You know, I understand that Mathers, who the Dolphins, that's one of the businesses Dolphins own, had a big, they made a big mistake on a big client and lost a lot of money and laid off the majority of it.
We're still streaming.
That was like a year.
Are we? Yeah, go ahead.